Alright, hello there. We are in the Pine Barrens today. It is Sunday, December 23rd. Christmas is getting closer, and of course, what better place to be to feel the Christmas spirit than right here in the Pines. So we're here at Edgewood, and I just want to talk to you about the importance of the climate crisis that's going on. Because this is one of the things I'm going to be addressing more in 2019. Is the climate crisis that we are in. And also, the other thing that I didn't address in the other video I made is the constant harassment and intimidation by the people who keep downvoting my videos. This is, part of the intimidation tactic that they use. Obviously, these, this group of people, which I don't really want to mention, but the problem is it's kind of tied into the environment. Their philosophy of Wall Street is one of excess, greed, and pillaging of the planet. And, so when you take a stand against Wall Street, this is what happens. You're going to get intimidated, you're going to get harassed, you're going to get, looked down upon. I don't care because I'm willing to do anything to speak up about the Pine Barrens and our environment, nobody, I don't care who they are, is going to stop me from doing that. So the way I feel about things, and I'm going to talk about what we need to do to combat climate change in 2019. What has to be done, particularly with the new Democratic leadership that's coming into our state, as well as our federal government. The House is going back to the Democrats. I'm very disappointed that Nancy Pelosi has been chosen to be the Speaker again of the House. She's a corporate Democrat. She's an elitist. She does not care about the environment or the people of this country. And it's really unfortunate. I'm hoping, though, that maybe she can prove me wrong. But, I know a lot of Democrats in New York, a lot of Democrats did not want her getting back in. Because she's just like a Hillary Clinton type, corporate Democrat. Not the kind of person you need. It's going to be looking out for the environment. And as far as the Democrats in our state government go, I'm a little disappointed by some of the talk coming out of our Governor Cuomo, who I still do not like. He's another corporate Democrat because he's continuing to say in 2019 the most important thing is the push for legalization of marijuana. No, that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is fixing the MTA because it's all tied into the environment. You need to improve mass transit so less people drive and pollute the air with their personal vehicles. That should be the priority. The priority should be fixing the public transportation in this state, improving it so more people take it, and doing something about all these excess vehicles on the road and all the traffic. Let's tax these big gas-guzzling SUVs. There should be a tax on them. If you want to drive a big pickup truck or a big SUV, then you should have to pay a tax, and that tax should go for the support of mass transit and the environment. The other thing the state needs to be doing is solar panels, solar energy. We have huge parking lots at our state parks and at our train stations, and we should be, that's a nice picture right there, we should be using solar energy by putting solar panels in those parking lots. That would generate solar energy because the energy we generate, the electric we generate, a lot of it, unfortunately, is still from fossil fuels, whether that be natural gas, mostly natural gas, I believe. And that's still, the burning of that still creates greenhouse gases. So we have to do something about curbing our use of that and phasing out these plants. Now, I support nuclear, all right? A lot of environmentalists don't, but nuclear is another alternative to burning fossil fuels, and it's unfortunate that Cuomo wants Indian Point shut down. Indian Point probably will be shut down, unfortunately, and sadly, that energy is going to be replaced with fossil fuels. That should not be what's happening. It should be replaced with green energy, sun, wind energy. We need to work on building these wind farms offshore. We have a lot of wind here. You've noticed that. Now imagine if we converted that wind into energy so we wouldn't be burning fossil fuels. There you go, right there. So another solution to the problem. It's really not all that complicated. People make it seem like it's complicated, but it's not. the solution to climate change is to stop burning fossil fuels, and it's totally possible. We don't need to be burning fossil fuels anymore, but the problem is big oil owns our government, and Wall Street and big oil are best buddies, they're best friends, and so they want to keep this kind of thing going. And with the economy, people are like, oh, it's wrong, and people say, oh, it's wrong to, be happy the stock market is going down. I'm happy because I think that the economy that we have right now is not sustainable. We are the whole premise of Wall Street is about the profits of the richest people in this country. It's all about the glorification of excess, greed, luxury, all things that are bad for the environment. And we need to change that. We need to work on, having a new type of economy, a green economy. And so I want to see, yeah, I'm happy that this economy may be faltering, and I want it to change. We need to start a better economy that's based on green energy, public transportation, technology, that kind of economy, not one based on consumption. Because it's terrible for our planet. People are, oh, Wall Street's happy, people are buying these big trucks and SUVs. No, it's terrible for the planet. It's terrible for us, and we need to stop it. We have to live a more sustainable life here on this planet and in this country. I'm just on this little path here because it's nice and quiet, and usually nobody will come through here usually. But we have to change our habits if we want this climate change to stop, all right? And climate change is going to destroy, it's going to affect a lot of the places where, that people live, our cities, most of them along the water, and, the increased amount of storms because the waters are warmer, more hurricanes, more storms, more rainfall causing flooding. But it's not just that, because the sea level is also rising. That also is another flooding threat for our coastline. And no, we're not going to engineer our way out of this. We have to stop climate change, all right? And the very first thing we need to do is, of course, curb the use of fossil fuels. Then, after that, how do we attack climate change? Well, we're going to have to look at ways to possibly cool the atmosphere down, cool the oceans down. Whether that be mimicking the aerosols produced by a big volcanic eruption, like Mount Tambora. Mount Tambora, when it erupted, and as well as Mount Pinatubo to a smaller extent, resulted in a global cooling, all right? Because the reflective particles from the volcanic eruption blocked some sunlight and cooled the surface of this planet. And that may be something we need to do also. We need to look at cooling the oceans down, all right? The key is getting our stability in our climate back, by, the Arctic has been warming tremendously, and that needs to just, we need to put a stop to that, because it's changing the patterns of the jet stream. And that's what's causing all this crazy weather that we've been having. Whether it be the warmth, whether it be these crazy storms, whether it be the droughts in California and all those terrible fires that are now a year-round problem, those fires. They are, and because of all the fires burning around the world, we have hazy skies like half the year because of this. It's not, the world is burning, it's either if it's not burning, it's flooding because we're disrupting our planet. So I'm going to keep talking about this. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that don't believe climate change is real, including our president, including many people, many politicians, and just many people in this country. They don't think it's real, when the science has proven very accurate. Look at the models. When we modeled climate change, global warming 20 years ago, all the things that are happening today were predicted by those models. So it's obvious, it's happening, it's real. But our president doesn't believe that. Instead, the only thing he's done, and yeah, I voted for him, and it was a big mistake, all right? I voted for him because I thought he would get rid of the illegals. I thought he would, clean up the corruption, get rid of the criminals. That hasn't happened. He hasn't done a damn thing to stop it. Not a damn thing. The only thing our president has done is make the richest people richer, as well as cutting regulations that protect the planet. You know, he's terrible for the planet. He's terrible for the environment. And the Democrats need to go after him on that. All right, not on amnesty for illegals, not on the legalization of marijuana, not on rights for criminals. No, the environment should be their #1 priority. That's what it needs to be, and that's why I'd like to see people like Michael Bloomberg. I really hope he runs for president because I think he would be a great president. I really do. You know, I care very much. You know, we only have one planet. I mean, this is priceless here. If this disappears, all right, looks like we do have some mountain bikers. So just hold on a second. All right, they're going that way. We only have one planet. All right, we can't screw it up. All right, and you know, the people on Wall Street have been pillaging this planet for too long. It's time for them to step aside. It's time for this. Yeah, and it affects public transportation because of their favoritism going on. You know, the neglect that the middle of the island gets because it's not homogenous white finance professionals, which is ridiculous. You know, the middle of the island, it should not be neglected. The middle of the island is probably the most important part of the island because it's where the Pine Barrens are. Well, at least it is the most important to me. You know, it's got to stop. So I'm hoping this bear market continues, and Wall Street continues to get diminished. You know, because it's time. It's time for a change. It's time for an improvement in fairness to return to the island. You know, and obviously I don't want anyone to really suffer, but you know, these people, you know, these rich people, if they lose their money and some of their power, it means that the rest of us can rise up again and take back our state, take back Long Island from this madness, this tyranny, this corruption, and start, you know, I mean, I'm not, you know, I don't really get involved. It just ties into the whole environment thing because sometimes, you know, with the public transportation and also the fact that they try to dump the homeless here and try to pollute our woods, we have to stop that. We have to keep our woods safe. We don't need gangs. We don't need homeless. We don't need illegals here. They shouldn't be anywhere, you know. So, in conclusion, I don't want to make this too long of a video. In conclusion, I just want to say, the Democratic Party, I'm urging that's why I put this video together. Folks who are Democrats and the folks who are Democrats in our state government, as well as the newly elected Democrats to our House, need to put climate change as a #1 priority and public transportation as their priority too. It ties in. We have to stop burning fossil fuels like it's going out of style. We have to increase regulations on polluters. We must move on to clean energy. We've got to stop the use of fossil fuels. That means phasing out the internal combustion engine, replacing it with an electric engine, making sure our electricity is generated by clean, not, carbon neutral ways, whether that be solar, wind, geothermal, or even nuclear. We need to get people on public transportation. That means improving public transportation, funding public transportation, and taxing those who pollute. And that's the priority that needs to be made under the new Democratic Party that is running things. And that's why I put this video together. But being conservative should mean supporting conservation efforts and conserving this planet. And there are a lot of people out there, including our president and a lot of people in the Republican Party, that call themselves conservatives, and yet they are against laws that would protect the planet. They're against funding public transportation, a lot of them. They're against regulations on polluters. They're against all that stuff. And to me, that doesn't seem very conservative at all to me. I don't just pick on Democrats, I pick on the conservatives too. It is important that people understand how bad this climate crisis is and how it could really put humanity out of existence. And that's why we need to have a more conservative, a truly conservative approach from the conservatives on conservation of our planet. But anyway, I'm going to enjoy the rest of this somewhat nice day. We have the high clouds now, but we did have some clear skies earlier. But the high clouds are starting to filter in. So, again, I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and let's hope 2019 is a better year for all of us. You know, I'm not out to ruin anyone's lives, even if you're a finance professional, but you have to have a little respect for people who are different than you, people who, and the environment, you know, and, you know, it's time for them to make some sacrifices so this planet and the rest of our lives can improve. But anyway, that's going to be the end of this video, so take care. Thank you for watching.